What up, y'all? It's your boy Infamous, but you call me Mr. Boy. Welcome back. Alright, I finally had time to actually, do, the whole recording for, The Boys Season 4. I know I haven't been, posting lately, but your boy's going through some stuff, alright? Well, not really, really bad, but stuff, but I'm just saying, man. Your boy's been busy. My birthday just passed, and let's see, I'm dealing with a lot of school stuff, trying to, balance out my, work life and all that stuff. Alright, so, for this one, I gotta, really speed things up because, Thanksgiving is about to be over and we're about to head into Christmas. Alright, guys, like, share, subscribe, follow me on Instagram, check me out on Now, the links to everything is down below. Episode 1. The boy's been trying to, kill Newman for months. Newman is starting to become more and more popular. He was, there was some sort of event being held at this hotel, and pretty much, the boys came up with a plan to, kill her. The plan was to, use some acid in her eye drop, so that way she can, use it on her eyes, and hopefully it will, kill her, or possibly, cause her to be blind so that way she don't use her powers. Everyone was getting ready for the mission and they was sticking out. Butcher was vomiting because again, Butcher's sick and he didn't tell the boys anything yet. Butcher and Kimiko kind of disguised themselves as one I guess the people that kind of work there so that way they can switch the eye drops out with the acid eye drops so that way Newman could blind himself. Eventually Homelander and Ryan kind of made it there. Ryan is starting to become more and more like Homelander. Because Homelander's been trying to tell him that people are toys for their amusement. Butcher and Ryan kind of had a little heart-to-heart, a little talk-to-talk, and pretty much told him hey, Homelander has done some really bad things, and you really need to come with me to get you safe because Homelander is really bad and all that stuff. Then Homelander kind of showed up. And he used his X-ray vision, and he realized that Butcher has a tumor, and he got months to live. Ryan is a little shocked about this. Kimiko and Frenchie swapped the eye drops, and Zoe eventually came up there. The security guys kind of trying to talk around it, but they realized that Zoe's a suit now. She don't have the same power as Newman, but she kind of have tentacles coming out of her face. And also, she can heal really fast, so Kimiko's arm kind of got ripped off, and they kind of had to jam us out of there. Starlight could fly now, and she also could also drain the power grid at the same time. Huey and Newman were having a real heart-to-heart moment. Huey's asking her was any of it real? Was any of it true? Were they really truly friends? Newman said yeah, they were truly friends, and she almost told him that she had powers. Huey threw that acid on her, but that didn't work. Butcher came in and shot her in the head, and that didn't work either. Back at the headquarters, MM is the leader of the team now, and pretty much Mallory and Singer talked to him privately, and Butcher is kicked out of the curve for a second, and pretty much they were talking about how Newman's this close to killing the president, because again, she's running with him for vice president. So yeah, she's this close to being the president, and they're trying to stop all that. And Mallory kind of pointed out the fact that Starlight could possibly blind her, but MM pointed out the fact that maybe she might be truly invincible. Alright, time to speed things up. Back at the 7th tower, the Black Noir kind of got switched out with another suit. The 7 been trying to look for new members of the 7 because again there's not that many of them now, and they had to start looking. They had a whole list, and A-Train noticed that Sister Sage was on that list. Sister Sage was one of the most smartest people in the world, and only that she used to work with A-Train back in Teenage Kicks, but she got kicked out because she couldn't keep her mouth shut. Starlight kind of formed this little organization that kind of was protesting about the trial of Homelander. They called themselves the Starlighters. Frenchie was kind of dating this dude named Colin. He kind of was the son of a judge that he kind of killed. Kimiko and Frenchie kind of break up, kind of their relationship is kind of on a rocky end. Homelander visited Sage at her place, and pretty much they were talking about how he's not happy and everything else. Sage kind of pointed out the answer, the fact that he wanted to be an emperor, wanted to be a king, and pretty much he came up with the idea to pretty much bring Sister Sage into the 7. Sage came up with a plan to frame the Starlighters at Homelander's trial, and pretty much using the whole thing to cause some chaos. A-Train is kind of feeling he's not built to do all this crazy gruesome stuff. He's tired of all this crazy gruesome stuff. Eventually we got introduced to a character named Firecracker, who kind of has a little beef against Starlight because, well, she kind of did her dirty years ago when she was a kid. Firecracker ended up joining the 7. Huey's dad kind of got into a coma, and then his mom kind of showed up. Huey was really mad at his mom, and eventually we found out why Huey's mom left, because she was depressed and she didn't want Huey to see any of that. Butcher was trying to talk to Ryan more, and they were hanging out, they were talking. Eventually the boys found out about the soup virus, and eventually they went to this barn place place that was kind of like the laboratory that Newman kind of like set up. By the way, Stan Edgar kind of like, they kind of busted Stan Edgar out of prison, and pretty much like Newman was trying to like figure out like how this virus worked. Eventually, like she tested on some animals, and the animals became super powered. There was like some super like vampire sheep. Homelander went back into the lab that where he was like born in, and he kind of like was getting revenge on like the people who experimented on him and tortured him as a kid. Sage and the Deep were like kind of like a thing and kind of were like smashing each other. A-Train like been like feeding them secrets. A-Train has been feeding the boys secrets and like, you know, exchanging information. Eventually, like, there was like a little tech night party that kind of was going down, and like Huey was being R-worded and tortured. Eventually, they found out like Sage was using tech night prison to like hold like, you know, like anybody who like opposes Homelander. Eventually, like Newman was found out to be a soup, and like they were trying to like get the virus ready to go. Butcher realized that Joe was actually dead, and he's been hallucinating him this whole time, and knowing that Butcher had powers this whole time. His powers are kind of like Venom a little bit, where tentacles kind of like split out, and pretty much like he killed Newman, took the virus, and now he's on his way to kill Homelander. Homelander kind of like took over the government, and now like Starlight's the only like member of the boys that still like managed to escape. Everyone got captured, and that was the end. It's mostly about redemption and like past sins and past traumas though. Like everyone has to like go fight their sins, man. Like Starlight, Kimiko, Huey, Butcher, Homelander. Whoa, Homelander. Okay, I'm gonna be honest with you. Just going back to like Homelander's like past trauma. Okay, honestly, again, I was rooting for him to get revenge. Because your boy is a sucker for these types of stories though. And again, like, I know that The Boys is like another good commentary on like, you know, morality, ethical questions, and all that stuff. But one of the things that kind of did point out, at least for this season, that like sometimes the most clean-cut, most goody-two-shoes person is not always like the goody-two-shoes there always are. Bro, I'm gonna be honest with you, man, like, okay, I mean, like, in the final episode of The Boys, well, the last episode, at least for this season, I'm gonna be honest with you, it was called Assassination Run, or Assassin Run. Bro, this came out, like, almost like a week and a half before, like, Donald Trump got shot. Bro, I was like, what the heck? The Boys just predicted the future? Honestly, man, I'm scared as heck, man. I mean, I know we're kind of, like, post-election right now, and I know I'm kind of getting off topic here, but I'm gonna be honest with you, I am scared as crap right now. And true, I would say everyone should be scared as crap right now. With Trump being president again, we're doomed. Alright, going back into The Boys again. Okay, like Frenchie hallucinating while Kimiko is like killing. Okay, I'm not gonna lie, that gotta be like one of the most funniest scenes in The Boys. I'm gonna be honest with you, I'm not gonna lie, that was pretty funny, kind of like very creative, with like the whole rubber duckies and like the bubbles like coming out, like, you know, it's supposed to be the blood. But seriously, no, like that was kind of funny, man. There's this YouTuber by the name Georgia Dow. Like her YouTube channel is pretty much just like a little psychoanalysis on like every like fictional character. She actually done characters of The Boys. I'm wondering when she's gonna do A-Train, MM, probably Frenchie or Starlight. I'm hoping that she does that. Hopefully she sees my channel though. I mean, oh by the way, Georgia, big fan. I've been watching your channel for months. Your videos and your analysis are amazing. One of the references I kind of did like from like The Boys, at least for the first episode, I kind of like how they kind of did like the whole Deadpool baby man joke. That was pretty funny as well. I mean, it was kind of cool and kind of funny at the same time. I mean, honestly though, I'm surprised that, hold on, we get to see people's arms like literally like bust open, but yet we cannot see like Kimiko's face like being, I don't know why, but I don't know. Like, it's crazy how like once it comes to The Boys, like anything is on the table. Once it comes to like showing the most graphic and detailed stuff, but yet we cannot see like Kimiko's shattered face. Like, what the heck, man? I mean, they know they got the visual artists to like actually make this happen though. And for us to actually see this on screen though. But I guess they probably want to tone it down a little bit. Okay. Okay. I mean, if you guys have not seen my review and commentary on like Gen V, I mean the spin-off series of The Boys, I mean, bro, how just Tech Night, man. I mean, I know you're a freak, man, but this is too freaky. Bro, that is too freaky, man. Like, seriously, every single hole out there, like, what the heck, man? I know that. I'm glad they kind of like brought up like the Gen V characters. They know Emma, Marie, Jordan, and Andre. And I'm glad that Kate and Sam were like in the end of the whole finale thing, bro. Like, that was just crazy, like, how OP Sam is as a character, though. I mean, I know that they're coming out with, like, season 2 of Gen V, like, in, like, what was it, in 2025. I mean, I cannot wait to see like what is going on after like everything that happened in the last season. I've been like, hopefully we don't have to wait so long for like the boys to like wrap the whole thing up, because at this point, like, season 5 might as well be the finale for the boys going to, and they really have to execute like this whole thing like very, very good. I'm just saying, the execution's gotta be perfect once it comes to season 5. Okay, I'm getting into it, man. Butcher having his powers, like, bro, it kind of looked like Venom, though. And all that, it looked pretty graphic and pretty cool. And all that, I like what the artist did with that. I mean, I wonder if he's gonna, like, get, like, a whole Venom, like, kind of, like, look to him. I mean, hopefully we do, though. And I hope, like, the final fight scene gotta, like, between Homelander and, like, Butcher, hopefully this gotta be, like, they gotta be, like, cinematic, though, in my opinion, though. I'm just imagining the whole fight going down, and it has to be, like, it gotta be epic. It gotta be, like, movie quality epic. What's up to, like, Butcher and Homelander having, like, their final fight? It gotta be so cinematic. Okay, for Sister Sage's backstory, well, I mean, it's not really much of a backstory, but more like a piece of her past that we kind of, like, got, like, a little hint of, is the fact that her grandmother used to be a Black Panther. In case you guys don't know, I mean, I did a video on the Black Panthers, specifically the founders of the Black Panther Party. You guys might want to check it out. Like, okay, I'll leave, like, a little card right up there, so you guys check it out. Honestly though, okay, I can relate to Sage a little bit, but there's one, like, a huge little problem here. I'm a black man, and she's a black woman. True, yes, we deal with racism, but how, like, we experience racism is a little different. Not only black women have to deal with the sexism, but you have to deal with the racism at the same time. I mean, I could not fully relate to Sage like that, but I can understand, like, why. And keep in mind, like, Sage was a little girl. I highly doubt, like, if any little girl, like, gave, like, literally, like, read up the notes to, like, literally cure her grandma's cancer, I highly doubt that anyone would believe, like, that little girl. Even if they did, they probably thought she was being cute and being, like, really adorable. I mean, we don't know how old, like, I think, like, okay, I probably need to rewatch it again, but the point is, the likelihood of anyone believing that little girl that young could possibly, like, be, like, knowing how to cure cancer, the likelihood of anyone believing that, very slim to none, regardless of the color of the skin. Not saying, like, that did not, like, not taking away, like, the whole racism part of the whole thing. I'm not saying it doesn't exist, but the point is, again, the likelihood of anyone, like, believing that, very slim to none, though. But I understand her frustration, and it made sense, like, why, like, Sage, like, joined, like, you know, Team Homelander in the first place, because for once, someone's willing to listen to her. Someone is willing to pay attention to her. And obviously, based on her behavior when Homelander, like, kicked her out and kind of, like, told her to, like, go, you can tell, like, the way she kind of said this. Wait, you promised that you would listen to me. The way she sounded, the tone of her voice, she sounds like a little kid that was, like, eagerly, like, want to, like, you know, get their parents' attention. So for Sage, being part of, like, Homelander's team kind of was, like, her getting those needs kind of met. We don't fully know, like, Sage's past. Hopefully we get, like, more explanation for her past in the next season, in season 5. Hopefully we get, like, more of a backstory to her. Okay, I am really liking, like, the new Black Noir. I mean, like, not only, like, this Black Noir can fly, I'm not gonna lie, he kind of gives, like, a Deadpool vibe. He kind of, like, made, like, I mean, Black Noir's character, I mean, like, before, like, Homelander killed him, like, his character was mostly like a Batman, kind of like Snake Eyes from, like, G.I. Joe. He's like a combination of those characters. Well, this one kind of makes him, like, more like a Deadpool. Okay, if anyone's, like, watching The Boys, is trying to, like, you know, get away from politics, bro, politics is pretty much baked into this show. And not only that, let's be honest, let's go to the superhero genre in general. Politics and, I guess, well, again, politics kind of does, I'm just saying, comic books and politics are heavily intertwined though. I mean, I like how, like, they have, like, the whole political divide kind of, like, set up in the show, with the Starlighters representing the Democratic Party and the Liberals, and, like, the Home Teamers being, like, the conservative right-wing guys, and the Republicans. I mean, I kind of do like the whole thing, and not only that, let's be honest, in this series, like, Homelander's pretty much like Donald Trump in a way. Like, again, like, Trump been saying, like, hey, he can, like, shoot a guy and get away with it. I mean, that's definitely, like, I'm just saying, though. Okay, I wonder, like, why they gave, like, A-Train, like, a whole redemption arc, man. I'm just saying, like, besides Homelander, like, Homelander would be the top list of the most irredeemable suits, but I'm gonna be honest with you, A-Train, bro, he really is not the, like, be like, I don't know, worthy of redemption. I'm gonna be honest with you. I'm just saying, like, the whole series, like, goes up to, like, at least season 6 or 7 or something. Okay, maybe get, like, a little redemption arc, though. But I gotta admit, though, I mean, it's really entertaining to watch, though. And I guess, like, the whole story comes full circle for A-Train a little bit. I want to talk about, like, episode 2, where, like, Firecracker was introduced, and, like, how, like, she kind of, like, again, she is like a racist version of Jubilee. It makes sense, like, why, like, she's, like, a part of this whole thing in the first place. And why is she even, like, trying to, like, you know, form podcasts, trying to get fame and all that stuff. It actually does make sense. I'm just saying, like, the tactics that Firecracker kind of used while her being, like, a news anchor and, like, before she became part of the Seven, that was the same type of tactics that, like, some people, like, in, like, the white supremacist organizations kind of, like, are in, or kind of, like, use those same tactics to, like, recruit new members into their organization. I'm not gonna lie. I'm just saying, like, Firecracker stated herself, like, these people have nothing. Like, they lost a job, they lost a house, and she was trying to, like, make them feel better about the whole situation. Alright, trying to give a little history lesson. From what I remember, there was, like, a little rebellion called the Stoner Rebellion, where pretty much, like, poor people, regardless of their race, like, back in, like, I think it was, like, the 1600s, 1700s, I think, and pretty much, like, all the poor people, black, white, whatever, Irish, they all ganged up and pretty much, like, tried to, like, kill the elite. They managed to stop the rebellion, of course, and that's when, the elite decided, you know what, dividing us by rich and poor not gonna work, since they're gonna team up with the slaves, so, here's the plan, we're gonna come up with this little caste system called race. If you can convince the most poorest, disadvantaged white man that they're superior or, like, better than, like, any slave or any poor white person, you could, like, have, like, a whole army at your disposal at any time, any minute now. And not only that, it will prevent, like, future rebellions like that to happen again. So that's where, like, the whole, keep in mind, during the time of slavery, only, like, a small percentage of people owned slaves back in the day. And that would be, like, these super ultra wealthy people. But again, if you can convince, like, the most poorest disadvantaged white person that they're superior and better than, like, any other group of people, they're more likely to stick with you and more likely to be loyal to you, or loyal to this thing called whiteness. I mean, you guys get what I'm saying here? I mean, hopefully I explained it really well. Alright guys, let me get into it, man. Okay, man, Huey really put through the ringer. Like, first his dad died, then he got R-worded by Tech Knight and Ashley, which, okay, I mean, I know that the R-word and, like, sexual assault is not no joke. It really isn't a joke, and no means no, regardless if you're a guy or a girl. No means no, regardless. But I'm just saying, like, the way, like, the show kind of, like, presented, I mean, it's funny. I mean, it is kind of funny because, let's be honest, on the other probabilities, the likelihood of most guys, like, telling a woman no for, like, a sexual relationship or something, the likelihood of that is, like, less likely to happen. Like, it makes sense, like, why we find this a little funny, because in reality, most guys are not gonna tell a woman no. But again, no means no regardless. Honestly though, I'm surprised, like, after Huey got, like, R-worded, I'm surprised he was still down with sex with the Sage Sister. And honestly, okay, this was a good question I gotta ask though. I mean, in that situation where Huey kind of was getting on with Shapeshifter and did not notice, I mean, the Shapeshifter can not only, like, take their form, but also take their memories as well. Which means, like, it'll be hard to tell, like, if, I'm just saying, between a regular Shapeshifter that could not, like, take a memory versus the one that does. Like, the one that could take the memories as well, that's gonna be, like, so easy to fool people, you know? And know that, is Huey really innocent in the whole thing? I mean, Huey kinda knew a little bit this whole time, but he wasn't 100% sure. Honestly, Mallory, like, seriously, like, lady, you had children. You know how children typically are. I mean, like, why would you try, like, dump all that information about Homelander to Ryan that quick and that fast? I mean, you forget, again, like, he's a kid, right? Honestly though, I wanted to say this. It was at this moment, they knew, they effed up. And they really did mess up with that. Like, seriously, Mallory, what the heck? Alright, time for me to wrap this up. At the end of the last episode of season 4, I kinda did like how, like, Starlight just, like, jumped up in the air and just flew up out there. I'm not gonna lie, that was pretty cool though. I mean, like, it kinda has that same effect as, like, going to hyperspace or going to hyperdrive and all that stuff. I mean, I kinda do like that. I mean, it's a little Star Trek, but it was pretty good though. Alright y'all, before I gotta go, like, share, subscribe, follow me on Instagram, check me out, and do your narc. And guys, let me know in the comments down below, like, I mean, I already did Drew A-Train, I already did Homelander. Which characters of the boys do you guys want me to draw next? Alright, MP board, out.